If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there. Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times has she had to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she's...
It started like any other morning, coffee in hand, casually scrolling through the day's headlines. But then, bam! Something stopped me in my tracks. Sunny Hostin. Yes, the outspoken panelist from The View. But wait, this wasn't about her. Sharp takes on politics or pop culture. This time, the spotlight was on her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, and the story? Let's just say it was anything but ordinary. Dr. Manny, a well-regarded orthopedic surgeon and head of Hostin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, suddenly found himself at the center of a scandal that's sending shockwaves through the medical community. We're talking allegations of insurance fraud, secret kickbacks, and, brace yourself, a massive lawsuit involving a staggering 180 defendants. This isn't just a legal case, it's a drama-packed saga straight out of a true crime series. As the layers of this tangled web unravel, the revelations get juicier by the second. So, grab your popcorn, hit that like button, and stick around. This legal roller coaster is just getting started. From explosive accusations to shady dealings, this story has it all. And trust me, you don't want to miss a single twist.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
The RICO Act, famously designed to dismantle crime syndicates and bring down mob bosses, has taken an unexpected turn. This time, it's not the mafia facing the heat. It's doctors, surgeons, and medical practices. Forget Goodfellas. Think Grey's Anatomy with a sinister twist of fraud. At the center of this shocking saga is Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon now accused of orchestrating a scheme to exploit the healthcare system. The allegations: kickbacks for unnecessary surgeries and billing insurance companies for procedures that may never have even happened. Picture this: patients under anesthesia, insurance companies footing the bill, while money discreetly changes hands behind closed doors, like a high-stakes poker game where the cards are fraud and deceit. This isn't just any case. It's a full-blown RICO lawsuit with a jaw-dropping 180 defendants entangled in its web. The medical world has never seen a scandal of this scale, and as the details emerge, it's clear that this story rivals any crime drama. Stay tuned. This is one operating room drama you won't want to miss.
I want a citizen that has a policy. I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got a $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
And that's
Dr. Manny Hostin's legal defense is coming out swinging. His lawyer, Daniel Thwaites, didn't mince words, calling the lawsuit a desperate, baseless move by Addict to mask their own financial troubles. Thwaites framed the lawsuit as a last-ditch effort from a company on the brink of collapse. His strategy? Flip the narrative and paint Addict as the real villains. It's a classic courtroom tactic. When under fire, go on the offensive, and trust me, it's making things sizzle in court. But the drama didn't stop there. Enter Joe Rogan, the podcast king known for his unfiltered takes. Rogan aimed his sights on The View and didn't hold back. He called out the show's hypocrisy, highlighting Sunny Hostin's history of harshly criticizing others while, as he put it, probably knowing full well about her husband's shady dealings. And then Rogan went for the jugular, roasting the entire show with his trademark sharpness. He labeled The View as downright dumb, even joking that if you averaged the panel's IQs, you'd struggle to break triple digits. With Courtroom, fireworks, and Rogan's blunt commentary, this saga isn't just a legal battle. It's a full-blown cultural spectacle. Buckle up, the twists are far from over.
Always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange of...
Joe Rogan didn't pull any punches when addressing the scandal surrounding Dr. Emmanuel Hostin and its connection to The View co-host Sunny Hostin. Rogan called out what he saw as blatant hypocrisy, reminding his listeners of Sunny's history of moral judgment and sharp critiques of others. All the while, her husband now finds himself at the center of a high-stakes legal storm. Rogan suggested that Sunny must have known about her husband's alleged activities long before the scandal broke, making her public criticisms of others appear, in his words, deeply ironic. But he didn't stop there. In classic Rogan fashion, he took aim at The View as a whole, tearing into its often chaotic, polarizing debates and labeling the show as nonsensical and dumb. Rogan's most scathing remark, a sarcastic jab that, if you averaged the co-host's IQs, you'd struggle to hit triple digits. The brutal critique struck a nerve with many, though opinions were divided. While some saw Rogan's comments as excessively harsh, his massive fanbase cheered on his fearless takedown of the long-running talk show. With no love lost between Rogan and The View, this feud is only adding more fuel to an already blazing controversy.
According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influenced and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft.
Joe Rogan's fiery commentary added fuel to the unfolding scandal. The drama surrounding Dr. Emmanuel Hostin's alleged involvement in a sprawling medical fraud scheme continued to snowball. At the center of the storm, Sunny Hostin, typically vocal and unflinching on The View's Hot Topics segment, has taken a surprisingly quiet stance. Her sudden silence has sparked widespread speculation. Is Sunny keeping quiet to support her husband behind the scenes, or is she waiting for the right moment to release a carefully lawyer-approved statement? Either way, her uncharacteristic reticence has left both fans and critics wondering about her motives. Some believe her silence is a strategic move to avoid being further entangled in the scandal, hoping the legal process will run its course without her adding fuel to the fire. Others see it as an attempt to protect her public image, fearing that speaking out might provide critics with more ammunition. For a media personality known for dissecting moral dilemmas and public controversies, Sunny's current predicament is steeped in irony. The same spotlight she has often directed toward others now burns intensely on her, leaving her in a precarious position. As the scandal unfolds, all eyes are on Sunny, waiting to see if, when, and how she will finally break her silence. Will she rise to the occasion with the same poise and sharp commentary she's known for, or will this moment mark a new chapter of challenges for the seasoned broadcaster? Only time will tell.
I saw you on The View.
Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a rabies infested hen.
At the center of this unfolding scandal lies a question that resonates far beyond the courtroom. How much trust can we place in a healthcare system where profit seems to outweigh patient care? When doctors and insurance companies prioritize financial gain over saving lives, the foundation of trust begins to crumble. Patients shouldn't have to wonder if they're walking into a healing space or a financial trap. The healthcare system is meant to protect and provide, not exploit. Yet scandals like these, with allegations of fraudulent schemes and unnecessary procedures, only deepen public skepticism. And here's the kicker. If Attic is indeed using this lawsuit as a smokescreen to hide their own financial troubles, they're not just shifting blame, they're fanning the flames of distrust. This saga serves as a stark reminder of the cracks in the system, cracks that need more than lawsuits to repair. Trust in healthcare must be earned, not manipulated, and every revelation in this case pulls back the curtain on a system in dire need of accountability.
Her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit. Okay, now let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about.
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of the View co-host Sunny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney Daniel Twites denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread.
The allegations against Dr. Emmanuel Hostin are serious, but he hasn't been convicted. For now, this case is a waiting game as both sides prepare for an intense legal battle. Whether guilty or innocent, the scandal has already exposed troubling issues within the healthcare and insurance industries, raising questions about trust and accountability. Sunny Hostin's silence is deafening, sparking speculation about her next move. Is she strategizing or just trying to stay out of the spotlight? Meanwhile, Joe Rogan's fiery critique of The View has ignited debates online, dividing opinions between his fans and the show's defenders. As the drama intensifies, all eyes remain on the Hostin household. This story is far from over, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Stay tuned for more twists and revelations.